Okay then. I really should have started doing this a while back. It's been a long time since this series continued, but here we are. In this video, I will be covering Alien vs. Predator. I was going to make AVP and AVP Requiem, but I don't know if that's going to be possible by having this like half an hour, because I wrote a long-ass script for this. But I'll see. Anyway, so here we are, Alien vs. Predator from 2004. It's not bad. It's just bland. I did see this movie once, and I remember liking it, but that was years ago. So let's get into it. So for the first time, the opening sequence is very Alien, but it's over literally less than a minute in, and I couldn't be happier. Now, I started writing the script back in November, so I don't remember what it looked like, but it was apparently very fast and very just like nothing, but the fact that it was fast makes it pretty fucking high up there. This is the first movie in the entire franchise that takes place on Earth. And if I remember correctly, the reason is dumber than you can expect. Yes, it is. It really fucking is. I'll get further into it when we get the lore exposition of why it takes place on Earth. But yeah. So the reasoning for the setting of Antarctica is literally John Carpenter's The Thing. The scientists find some strange shit there, so they go investigate and are now stuck with extraterrestrial beings. Again, I wrote this, as I say every time, I write these when I'm watching the film, so obviously things change. But the thing is, with everything happening, it is really just like they're kind of stuck on this one place, Antarctica. It doesn't matter. It's not really anything like John Carpenter's The Thing, but again, that is all just me writing it as I'm watching it. Oh my fucking god! The company is the villain again! Again, I didn't... I wrote these again, as I was watching it, but the company is now the main characters. And later on in the film, it does kind of retcon a lot that happens in the other Alien films, but yeah. 3 minutes in, we get the opening scene of The Exorcist, where one of our characters finds some ancient stuff that connects to the... Wait, hold on a fucking second. Is the plot of this movie just other successful films from the 70s and 80s? They're even watching the original Frankenstein. Like, the director knew this would be noticed. Obviously, I did not know that this movie was gonna be its own thing after like, the halfway mark. But, yes. This is all what I noticed as I was watching it. I did not go through any of my notes afterwards, because that's just how I have done it so far. Anyway, but the thing he finds is a Pepsi bottle cap, and the movie pulls a Jurassic Park where the corporation guy shows up and tells him he has what he's looking for. Is there no originality to this shit? Hold the fuck on. At 5 minutes in, we see a picture of Bishop, and that in 2004, he made the androids. So either this guy found the foundation of youth, or they lied to us about this being the real Bishop. Right after that, we get introduced to Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum. Oh, sorry, we get a guy who's an expert idiot coming along to give us more rip-off territory. This one I was very proud of because, this guy really is an expert, even if the things that he finds out have never been mentioned to him. But yeah, he is literally just Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. Okay, fucking Bishop is the company now, even though there's over 100 years between this and Alien 3. But okay, fine. This is gonna be a big thing that I'm gonna mention a lot throughout this video, is that Bishop is alive in this movie and Alien 3, which also, connecting this and Alien 3 makes Alien 3 the ending even worse, and they already butchered it with Alien Resurrection. Anyway, enough about that. That comes in later. I have things to talk about this later. So the base this movie will set place in is the world's first pyramid with all three cultures of countries with pyramids. And the fact that this is deep in the ocean, I'm guessing the fourth pyramid country is Atlantis. So the Exorcist character turned his failure into a necklace. Yes, I am desperate for script. Even though this is page 3 and I've already rambled on about fucking nothing. That's this movie. It is just a big nothing. At 16 minutes in, they find the spot where they found the ice tub from The Thing, where they'll inevitably end up in the pyramid. Again, I wrote this a couple months ago. I did not expect this movie to be more original than it was. This goes into like a left and right for me. I am definitely unprepared for reading this script because there is really nothing for me to read. Then we have a scene of people walking around for literally 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which ends with a penguin jump scare. This I remember because I timed it. I timed how long this fucking jump scare was being built up. It was just a fucking penguin. At 21 minutes in, we get a Batman and Robin ass suit up shots, and I hope to God I'll be able to make my script interesting. It gets interesting later. I kind of grasped onto fucking everything just to make sure that this would be a fucking video. But now that I think about it, I kind of am regretting that now. But fuck it, I'm too far gone. 22 minutes in, we learn that Bishop is dying and somehow is alive 100 years in the future. And also, I did learn that the Alien show that's coming out, Alien Earth, apparently that takes place 100 years from now, but like 50 years before the first film. So Bishop is older than 100 years after 2004. Anyway, fuck it. I don't care. That's enough of that. Then we get the superhero backstory where the main character's dad dies because of a broken fucking leg. So in this movie, we have 3 predators. I'll get further into that later. Nothing really to know of that. At 27 minutes, we get to the gigantic pyramid where we'll spend the rest of this movie. Visually, it looks pretty good, but I can't help but wonder how the cave kept this shape for this long. So, obviously, this thing has been around for thousands of years, under an ice cave, and it looks like it's just like, I don't know, 200 years old? 100 years old? Because it looks, first of all, pretty clean on the outside. Then again, we learn later on that this shit happens once every 100 years. But, enough about that. So, apparently, in ancient times, the predators locked up the queen, and the way to release her is a fucking pressure plate booby trap. The fuck is this logic? Obviously, again, it is explained later that every 100 years, the pyramid is enabled as like a trap type of thing to make people come towards it, and then the whole AVP can happen. Kind of as like a ritual kind of thing. I'll get more into it later. The shit gets so fucking bad. This movie is so much nothing. So apparently this pyramid has writing from ancient Egyptian, Aztec, and Cambodian, meaning these three civilizations went to Antarctica together to build this place in ancient times. Is it just me, or does that sound impossible? I didn't check where Aztec is. I don't know what continent that is, but the other two are two different continents. Anyway, 31 minutes in, we have a bunch of predator kills that felt really fucking forced because they happened so spontaneously and out of nowhere. I mean, we're half an hour in and nothing alien or predator has happened, so let's kill some random characters. Because this movie is boring so far. Now, I don't think this movie is boring. Its slow pacing keeps the movie going forward without stopping it entirely. Go away, alien! So our three predators will have nicknames that I'll make it more simple for me. First, we have Nut Mask, because his mask looks like a ballsack. OG Mask, because he really does just have the original mask. And Whiskers, because it looks like he has whiskers. Anyway, at 33 minutes in, our group of main characters find the sacrificial chambers that has a xenomorph emblem in the middle of corpses with holes in their chest. Firstly, these bodies look really good for being thousands of years old. Secondly, if they were mummified, who came in there after everything to mummify them? This still sticks with me because, as I said, it happens every 100 years. But I'm pretty sure 100 years ago, people didn't go in there to be sacrificed for this thing. I think they were more there to be, like, trapped. Anyway, a whole 4 minutes after the Preds threw the last guy down the shaft, OG Mask finishes him off after he finally wakes up. Why were they waiting for him to wake up? Why not just finish him off and go do their fucking job? Like, this is back when I finally got around to finishing the script, so this was just maybe an hour ago. I'm still wondering, why didn't they just kill him and then go do their thing? I mean, he wakes up and they're just standing there watching him for no fucking apparent reason. So in the sacrificial chamber, this guy dropped a glow stick down a shaft. The team splits up, and our main character randomly says, "This should be the room under the sacrificial chamber," when the glow stick is right in front of her, being an amazing moment that makes no fucking sense. Why would she exclaim that? Talk about the room instead of where it is. I thought I didn't write this really that well. I kind of forced my writing into this, but if you think about it from a writing standpoint, it still makes no sense because we see the glow stick. And from a realistic standpoint, it still makes no sense why she said it because the glow stick is right there. And if you look straight up, you see the same fucking emblem. Like, it makes no fucking sense. So the Aztec built a combination lock that changes every day. Last time this place was opened was 1904, which means this happened 100 years before this movie, and I want to know how it got so well covered up. Plus, what about the historical notes that were bound to exist? So, this is gonna go into a big mode of people being like, well, the Predators covered it up. But how the fuck did they discover the place then? Like, wouldn't they have written down, like, that they would be exploring this place? Like, or something like that? Like, those types of notes? And also, like, why is, well, I don't know. It makes little sense, but let's not think about it. Anyway, Spencer opens the sarcophagus and finds 3 predator guns. If this place was discovered 100 years ago, wouldn't it be empty? Anyway, the thing is, I mentioned this without knowing fully the plot, but I know that this was covered up by the Predators, which means really nothing else to it. I have nothing really to mention about that. They take the guns, and it triggers a booby trap that makes the Preds go running. The door to the room closes, and a stairway to the basement opens. This happens in the span of 30 seconds, and it feels like the writers noticed they were making Indiana Jones with Alien and Predators. Oh, and by the way, the team upstairs also gets locked in, and the facehugger eggs rise from the sacrificial, chamber, places. So the Scottish guy randomly mentions that this place is a power plant, preparing for something at 43 minutes, and doesn't elaborate at all. This was an interesting thing that happens. He mentions that it's a power plant that is preparing for something, but the thing is, he has no, he never elaborates anything. And the thing that he just told us, it makes no sense at the moment, but then you realize, oh, he's just telling us what just happened. At 44 minutes in, we get a chest burster scene. 4 minutes after we had the facehuggers. It feels like they noticed that this movie was slow-paced, so we need to go light speed with this plot. So to recap the last 13 minutes. Predators kill a bunch of dudes, Spencer takes guns, facehuggers, exposition, and chest bursters. That's it. That's all that happens in the last 13 minutes. Apparently they didn't notice that the guns they grabbed were guns until they read it on the wall. So, obviously I have shown a picture of the guns, but here they are again. Look at this thing and tell me if it looks like anything but a gun. Oh, an OG mask is here to kill some dudes. Fucking what? Then randomly, at 46 minutes, the pyramid decides to shift, separating our main characters. This moment made no fucking sense at all. So, apparently every 10 minutes, the fucking pyramid changes its layout, which, I don't know if you've read or seen the fucking Maze Runner the first one. But that's literally what happens, and for this situation, it makes no sense. Why? Is it so the queen has more difficulty to escape, or what? Because as soon as that happens, she escapes pretty fucking easily, if you ask me. Then, Whiskers and Nutsack kill the black guy, and right before Whiskers is about to kill our main character, Whiskers gets killed by a xenomorph tail, starting the shit show off with only 48 minutes left. Nutsack sees this, and he starts fighting the xenomorph, and I have to say that this is the most boring fight I've seen. Or should I say, haven't seen, because it's 15 billion shots a second, and none of it looks like anything. It's just a bunch of fighting, close-ups, with just, you can barely tell what the fuck is happening. So Nutsack chops off the xenomorph's tail, and the xenomorph uses the blood to whip acid at Nutsack. This movie genuinely feels like fan fiction. Then the xenomorph jumps at Nutsack, but Nutsack shoots his net at it. Acid blood lets it escape to kill Nutsack. This fight lasted way too fucking long. And 90% of it was just awkward close-ups that kind of made me feel barfy. Anyway, the xenomorph on the corpse of Nutsack at 56 minutes looks phenomenal. Nothing else to say. That's just I just wanted to mention that. I think it looks fucking cool. Anyway, OG Predator kills Bishop at 58 minutes, retconning the fact that the real Bishop showed up in Alien 3. There we go. Fucking Bishop was either an android in Alien 3, or this movie makes no sense. Either way, this movie makes no sense. OG Mask takes off his mask after killing a xenomorph and a facehugger, with no difficulty by the way, to burn a mark on his mask and forehead for some reason. Obviously, like I've said multiple times, I'm writing this as I'm watching the films. The reasoning for this is he's basically proving himself to be a hunter. By the way, from now on, this Predator will just be called Predator, because he's the only one left. And an hour in, Predator gets attacked by a facehugger. This is gonna come in at the very end, and a lot in this next film. I don't know if it'll be in this video, or next video, or if fucking anything. But yeah. Then we get lore. This is where I got to write a bunch for one, point. So, the Predators taught us how to build and were worshipped as gods. They would return every 100 years for a sacrifice, aka facehuggers. They'd hunt the xenomorphs to prove themselves, and if they lost, the ending of the first Predator movie would happen. So, basically, it's like a gladiator type of thing. Like, they're just kind of like proving themselves that they can do their shit. And that's basically it. In an hour and 10 minutes, we get another AVP battle that Lex, our main character, wins. I'm dead serious. There's a giant alien and Predator fight, and the winner is the human. This movie's fucking awful. Then Pred makes a shield and a spear for Lex made out of that xenomorph. What the fuck is this garbage? Also, we get to see the shield and spear later on, like full on, and it looks like garbage. An hour and 13 minutes, the Queen decides to break out of her prison for some reason. Why hasn't she done this in the last, 1,000 years? At an hour and 17 minutes, Pred does this.
It's a bomb.
This fucking kills me because the Predator is a good guy and it feels weird. Why is the Predator like a hero in this movie? Like, if you've seen any of the other films, this makes no fucking sense. Anyway, Pred and Lex escape, blew up Antarctica, and lived happily ever after. Actually, Pred marks Lex with the mark of the hunter, and she gives consent. Fucking why does she give consent? If people ask about that scar, she'll have to make up a bullshit excuse because, nobody's gonna believe her if she says, oh yeah, an alien gave me that after I killed a fucking other type of alien. Anyway. Oh, by the way, the Queen survived, so we have one last battle. And I'm not gonna lie, this battle is pretty fucking dope. Pred and Lex do some good damage, then the Queen almost gets Lex, and the dynamic duo tie her up to a chain and make her drop into the ocean. This fight was fucking dope. I will fucking stand by that. This movie's not good. Most of the battles are fucking awful, but this one was different. Then Pred sadly dies from his wounds, and a whole army of Preds show up to recover the body. The King Pred gives Lex a spear and fucks off, and they lived happily ever after. Oh, by the way, the Pred alien is born. All in all, this movie is not good, but it was watchable. I don't have much to say outside of that. So yeah, next up is Requiem.